Okay, my name is Betty Ong. I'm number 3 on flight 11.
Okay.
And the cockpit is not answering their phone. And our number 1 has been stabbed, and our 5 has been stabbed. Can anybody get up to the cockpit? Can anybody get up to the cockpit? Okay, we can't even get into the cockpit. We don't know who's up there.
It was my childhood dream to become a flight attendant, and when United Airlines came knocking, I took them up on their offer. I loved being a purser. I loved traveling the world. On a flight from Tampa, an Arab passenger gave me this bill from the United Arab Emirates as a souvenir and said it was something to remember him by. On the plane that day were Ahmad Ibrahim A. Haznawi and Nawaf al-Hamzi, with a third Arab passenger, later identified to be 9/11 hijackers. I'd lost my friends that day. I'd worked with all the flight attendants, and only a week earlier had spoken to Michael Theroux, who was killed on Flight 175. I just wanted a better understanding of what had happened to my friends. The more questions I asked, the worse it got. And that was it. I decided I owed it to my friends who'd been killed to show just how porous our borders still are by making a film.
In no terms are the American people safe. The American people have to realize if they're going to bed locking their doors at night and they think that there is a department out there that is actually protecting them, protecting their borders, their seaports, it's all a complete facade.
And it seems rather fallacious to me to shake down an 80-year-old woman in an airport in a wheelchair when right now, somewhere to the west of me or somewhere to the east of me, legitimate terrorists can be sneaking into America with impunity.
You can look at it 2 different ways. At least on the land border, you have somebody there. These seaports, there's nobody here looking.
Renting a boat, buying a boat, go to Walmart, get a raft, come across the river. It's the quickest and the easiest.
So you're telling me boats can just come right up into this harbor, such as a boat coming off in the distance, park here, and regardless of where they came from, there's nobody here to inspect
Absolutely. Them. It's an honor system where they're supposed to go turn themselves in for inspection to immigration, present their passports. Well, that's great for the honorable person and for the person who's really coming as a tourist. But let's face it, the people that are here to do harm or coming with bad intention, they're not going to report themselves. They're not going to turn themselves in.
The northern border is absolutely wide open. There are a few ports of entry scattered along that are manned 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. But in between them, there's virtually nothing to deter other than a few sensors scattered around and a handful of Border Patrol agents. They increased the manpower. They tried to make it seem a little more secure.
Seem a little bit more secure.
Yeah, because it's no more secure today than it was 10 years ago.
That every day on the border is like a day in the former Bosnia. Okay, it's a war zone.
The stolen vehicle had come into America and it had gotten stuck. And so these 2 guys went in different directions. So as Chris walked back toward the area, this guy opened fire on him with an AK-47. Our son, Christopher William Akeley, was murdered on August 9th, 2002.
I just wanted to have been there to take that round myself.
Every American must be concerned with border security because right now that 18-wheeler that is coming through the port of entry carrying a nuclear warhead could be heading to their town. It's as simple as that. Or that illegal alien who has a backpack on, who's what we call a mule, thinks he's working for a drug smuggling organization, is actually smuggling a suitcase nuclear weapon. That suitcase could be next to you when you're sitting down at Starbucks with your cappuccino.
Did he see any other nationalities while he was traveling that were waiting to cross or that were crossing?
¿Viste otra gente, otros extranjeros de otros países que querían venir a Estados Unidos en el tren donde venías tú? Bastantes.
Sí, bastante.
Many of them.
Nonpartisan here. I mean, we're not talking about a political issue. What we're talking about is a border that is going to kill us.
We do not have what we need on our hard borders. The ports of entry, we don't have the inspectors we need. Our consular affairs abroad, always their budgets are being cut.
The stakes are way too high. This is no longer a matter of, well, my taxes may go up a little, or maybe they're not going to build that highway. Now we're talking about the security and the future of our country, of our children, of our grandchildren. The stakes don't get higher than this.
On both sides of the aisle, our national leadership looks at it and doesn't seem to change anything. They talk about it a lot, they argue about it a lot.
Few politicians are losing their positions in government because they're failing to do the right thing. That has to change.
So it's one of these things that time will cure. The question is, do we have time?